You're listening to Sports and Talk on thegospelstation.com, heard in Oklahoma City and around the world. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your path straight. Proverbs 3:5-6.
Okay, I finally hear the intro song. It is time to go. Hey, we are live at QDOBA on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. Luke Young out here for this evening show. Mike Gannon back at the studio. It is the high school recap show for the fall semester. Again, live from QDOBA Mexican Eats right here, 7002 Northwest Expressway Suite A. Thank you so much for QDOBA and hosting our show. But yeah, we're going to be here for an hour, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. is the time, talking everything Bethany, Tuttle, Carl Albert, Mustang, Yukon, and all the rest that we got to cover for this fall recap, because there are a lot of schools who did a lot of cool things this year. We're going to try to catch them all, but I'm also going to try to go slow because I tend to rush through these things, but we'll see how it goes. But again, Luke Young out here. Mike Gannis back in studio. Mike, how are you this evening?
I am doing good. It's a holiday weekend. Things are starting to finally slow down. Everybody's getting caught up on those deadlines.
It is, and of course, happy Thanksgiving both to you and to everybody who's watching and or listening. Thanksgiving in just a couple of days, I'm going to be able to go see some family, I think, so it'll be a good time. But been looking forward to this one. But seeing as how it is Thanksgiving week and all the high schools are out right now, no one's doing anything, we don't have any coaches to do this coaches show, in quotations, here at this recap show.
I'm pretty sure a couple of the coaches are probably at their parents' place or their grandparents' place up in Kansas, or down in Texas, or whatever. So, yeah, people now bug out and, take the whole week now.
Yeah, and I absolutely do not blame them for that one. When you ask these coaches to do these shows we do, you got to be sure you don't take away the times they don't have to do the shows.
Exactly.
They've got some busy schedules, and I know that personally, so – but we're excited to be out here anyways. Again, we've got a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and get into it. Obviously, high school football playoffs are still happening right now. Just a little bit ago, I think yesterday, the locations for the semifinals were released by OSSAA. They're all at neutral sites now. Obviously, all the home games have been concluded, which means obviously Tuttle has played their last home game. Carl Albert has played their last home game. All those teams we follow that still advance through the brackets, they're going to be on the road. Looking at some of them here from the OSSAA, let's find that. Here we go, 5A and 6A. So 5A is Carl Albert versus Newcastle at Norman North. Carl Albert obviously on I took a screenshot of it. Let me see if I can find it here, Mike, because you're going to want to hear this. 14-game playoff winning streak, 36-1 playoff run since 2021, I believe.
Yes.
They've won 8 of the last 9 Class 5A state championships, that one loss being 2021. And they're on, is it a 50-something streak, or is it up to 51-game streak, winning streak overall, which is second all-time only to Bixby. Yeah. They're matching up against a Newcastle team that's good, but definitely not at that level. Newcastle is playing for only their potential second state championship in school history. I think their first came in the 80s, I think it was.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it was in the 80s.
It's been a while for the Racers. I mean, in neutral site, this deep in the playoffs, anything can happen, but I don't know how anybody's going to slow down Carl Albert this year. That team has been ridiculous. They're coming off of another huge win as well. I mean, huge win, shutout, 55-0.
Yeah, Newcastle got the benefit of the 1970s white flight when a lot of people left the city, and Newcastle was one of the communities they moved into. It was Newcastle, it was Carl Albert, it was Choctaw, it was Hera. A lot of people were moving in there, and so Newcastle had a lot of athletes back in the 80s. And then because of the oil bust, as the kids grew up and moved, a lot of people didn't move back. So now that Mustang is full up and Yukon's full up, people are moving back down into the Newcastle area in the last 10 years, and so now they've got a bunch of athletes down in Newcastle again.
Speaking of Mustang and Yukon, though, across Class 6A1, they are not playing in the semifinals. The 6A matchups are Bixby and Broken Arrow and Jenks and Owasso. In 6A2, it's Choctaw and Stillwater and Sand Springs and Putnam City. So Mustang and Yukon, their seasons have come to a close. Successful seasons for both of them. We've mentioned it on past shows, but this is one of the few times that really both have been in the playoffs at the same time in recent memory. And I know for Yukon especially, it was a year where they definitely kind of exceeded expectations, in my opinion. Just on what I've heard about the program, what I've heard about this season they were getting ready for. Let's go ahead and pull up UConn's final record. They went 6-6, 3-2 in district. That was good for a second place finish. I was able to catch them when they played Edmond Santa Fe back on the day before Halloween. That was a good 29-7 victory for the Millers. That was honestly a really fun game, but they got an opening win against Deer Creek 24-7 before losing to Owasso 45-7, which, again, that's just a tough matchup for anybody. Yeah. But congratulations to the Yukon Millers on the successful season, by all means. And again, I was happy to go out there and see them the one game I did. I don't have their stats ahead of me, but I will say watching their lineup, Wyatt Jones, the guy they had at quarterback, he's only a junior. They're going to have another year of him. They're going to have another year of a lot of very good starters. Daniel Yebbett, Prince Shelburne, Destry Lujan. Or actually not Lujan, he's a senior this year. But Shelburne and Yebbett for sure, who are, I believe, Shelburne's a sophomore. That's right. So Shelburne, they potentially got 2 more years out of one of their top running backs here. So I think things could be looking up for UConn in the future, Mike. I really do think that they might have something cooking over there, something brewing.
They too, because they've really grown. I mean, a lot of younger families went in and bought into the established houses, that were built in the 60s and 70s, and so and there's been land development out there as well in some of the neighborhoods that have been included into the UConn school system. So yeah, they've got the kids now out there, and it's still just one high school. So yep. they got the bodies.
And Mustang on that other 6A scene, they were one of the stronger programs. I think getting into the year, a lot of people were very high on Mustang. They ended up going 8-4, and I think 5-2 or 5-3 in district. I think it's 5-2. They finished third in 6A1, District 1. Again, tough matchup there. They had a win against UConn to open the season. They played a couple of strong teams. Again, they did meet Jenks and Bixby during the regular season. Lost to both of them, unfortunately, but they beat Deer Creek. They beat Norman North in the opening round of the playoffs. They just couldn't get past Broken Arrow 4 days ago. That was a 29-14 loss for the Broncos. That's where their season came to an end. Broken Arrow was actually one of the teams that got them multiple times this season. The first time those two teams played, it was 21-14. Mustang wasn't able to put up more than 14 points on Broken Arrow both times throughout the year, which I didn't realize, so I was going back and looking at it. That's a tough end for, again, another strong Mustang team, and we saw that in, honestly, Bethany sports, especially volleyball this year. I mean, we'll talk about volleyball in their season on a coming up segment, but, Mike, I mean, you remember the volleyball games that we were listening to and I was out calling. Bethany volleyball was really, really good, defending state champions, but they just couldn't get past Community Christian. It was Community Christian's year, and that's just how athletics happen sometimes. So, strong season for Mustang, came up a little bit short, but again, it's stacked competition in 6A1 right now.
As I said, they couldn't get past Community Christian. Community Christian ended up winning it, so there was no shame when you lose the eventual champion. There's no shame in that because we saw those games and they gave their best.
Oh yeah, they
Christian
did.
Just Community Christian, they faced each other the year before, and Community Christian just kind of figured something out and was able to get Bethany this year, and then probably next year will probably flip back and something. Bethany's coach is sitting there looking at the game film and going, there's something. And we'll focus on that, and probably get him back next year.
I would not be surprised. Those two teams have been at the top of the leaderboards for multiple years now, so yeah. I would not be surprised.
Surprised either.
Hey, we're coming up on the end of our first segment. We still got a little bit about Carl Albert that we want to mention on segment number 2, so stick around for that. We'll talk about their softball and volleyball programs real quick. But for now, we're done with segment number 1. We're live from QDOBA on Northwest Expressway, 7002 Northwest Expressway Suite A. They're open until 10 p.m. tonight, although they will be closed on Thanksgiving, so keep that in mind. But usually open 10:30 a.m. to 10 every single day. Download the QDOBA app. You can start earning towards rewards. You can order online. It's super convenient, and I think first-time users get a free bag of chips or something like that. Don't quote me on that. It's been a while since I first downloaded the QDOBA app, if you know what I mean. But just something to keep in mind. We're going to break. When we come back, segment number 2, we're going to keep recapping some of the sports from some of these schools that we cover.
Do it best at Evans Hardware. Since 1965, Evans Hardware has provided Midwest City with top-quality home improvement supplies and a one-of-a-kind shopping experience. At 1021 South Douglas Boulevard, Evans Hardware is family-owned and has the right products for every situation, including DIY projects, professional contracting, or quick fixes. Their satisfaction guarantee and quick turnarounds mean you'll always find what you need. So visit Evans Hardware in Midwest City.
Or call 405-732-1898. That's 405-732-1898.
Evans Hardware in Midwest City.
C&J Sporting Goods at 6604 Northwest 38th Street has been serving Bethany and the Metro for over 30 years, with 3 generations ready to serve you with the best shopping experience of product knowledge and customer service anywhere, with a wide selection of guns, ammo, ear and eye protection, law enforcement equipment, hunting, camping, and survival gear. If they don't have it, they will order it for you. Veteran owned and family operated. Call 405-789-8102. C&J Sporting Goods.
Your home and your car are more than just things. They're where you make your memories, and they deserve the right protection. At Blake Nightingale State Farm Insurance, well, he gets it, and that's why he's there. For your home, life insurance, car, and more, call Blake Nightingale 405-728-1313. Blake Nightingale State Farm Insurance, 7304 Northwest Expressway. Like a good neighbor, Blake Nightingale is there. State Farm Insurance.
At the home of the Gotta Have It, you'll find Apple Tree Antique Gallery, located in the heart of downtown Bethany at 6740 Northwest 39th Expressway. Enjoy spacious shopping with up to 77 unique vendors across more than 10,000 square feet, offering everything from jewelry and clothing to one-of-a-kind treasures and so much more. Don't miss our third Friday weekend specials every month. And yes, we're open Sundays. Call us at 495-0602. Apple Tree Antique Gallery in Bethany, home of the Gotta Have It.
Tanko Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing is a commercial and industrial contractor. They offer end-to-end client experience that includes seamless communication, budgeting, staffing, on-site organization, and it's solid quality handiwork every time. The past projects include both new construction and repairs and restoration. Occupied and fully operational job sites are never a problem. They can also plan, manage, and build multi-phase jobs. We are a turnkey plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and mechanical contractor. Tanko Company, give them a call at 405-255-7804. Again, that's 405-255-7804. Tanko.
All right, folks, we are coming back here out of break. Just looks like it's segment number 2 here live from QDOBA. Luke Young out here in the restaurant doing this show with you. We are preparing for Thanksgiving, preparing for the holiday season. Of course, we've got a little bit of 5A state championship. No, wait, it's semifinal. 5A state playoffs is what I should say. State playoffs coming up this Friday after Thanksgiving. Carl Albert going to be down at Norman North, taking on Newcastle. Should be a fun one. We'll be out there covering that. And then, of course, next week it's Tuttle, it's Bethany basketball, and we're right into the swing of things come December. But thanks to QDOBA for hosting the show today. 7002 Northwest Expressway Suite A. Call 405-470-7772 to get a hold of QDOBA. It's a great place, and if you are a student at maybe one of the high schools, one of the colleges around here, and you show them your student ID, you can get a free drink, which is always super nice. I used that plenty of times when I was in college. So thanks again to QDOBA for hosting the show. You can also go to locations.qdoba.com to find the store closest to you. And of course, the one closest to us is 7002 Northwest Expressway. Here on segment number 2, we're going to keep talking a little bit about some of the other schools that are not the Bethany Broncos. I know I've got our Bethany Broncos banner out to my right here. It's a little bit off screen, but we do follow a lot of different teams. And Carl Albert, although we don't follow them for volleyball and softball, they had pretty good teams on both. Softball was actually state champions this year for the Carl Albert Titans. They went on to have a great season of their own. They beat Duncan in the state championship. which apparently Carl Albert and Duncan meet a lot, Mike, is something I have learned very quickly. Those two teams go head-to-head often.
Yeah.
But
Duncan's got is a great community down there, kind of halfway between Chickasha and Lawton, and they got a huge area, and they're all a bunch of farmers down there. So, everybody can play. Everybody's an athlete down there.
for Carl Albert's softball, Bailey Rush and Journey Lavalley were both All-Staters. Rush for catcher, Lavalley as an outfielder. And their coach Roland Baza, won, I believe it was, make sure I get this completely right here. He was Coach of the Year. That's right, Softball 5A District 2 Coach of the Year. And he turned around and gave that trophy right back to the staff and called it the 5A District 2 Coaching Staff of the Year. So that's the kind of team Carl Albert softball was this year. A very strong program. Well-earned success from them, absolutely. Their volleyball team went 21-12 overall. They didn't make it super far in the playoffs, but they ended up being top 50 in the state. They had a bunch of good wins throughout the regular season. They were very strong at home, but not quite as strong on the road towards the end of it. I believe their final was 14-4 at home, 6-6 on the road, and 1-2 in neutral sites. So although the Titans were really strong in their home gymnasium, which makes sense to me because that place is awesome, they kind of struggled on the road. It didn't end up quite the way that they wanted, I think. But I didn't get to watch any of their volleyball, unfortunately, which I was kind of surprised at since we went out there for the state championship. I figured I would see at least one game from them. It just didn't work out that way this year. But another team that had actually really good softball was UConn again. Again, we don't follow them in the fall. I'm wrapped up with Bethany Sports. But UConn softball, Mustang softball, they actually also had really good years. The Miller softball team ended 2011 overall in top 25 in the state. They just came up short against Edmond Memorial, I think it was, back on October 10th. So they were very close themselves. And when it comes to this, you miss out on winning it all, which obviously that's everybody's major overarching goal. But you don't want to pass up on a team like this without wishing them congratulations and success at the next level, because they also had a lot of good players. Both Mustang and UConn both did, and a lot of good teams in recent years. We just want to give our quick well wishes and say congratulations on their years. But state championships are the big thing, obviously. And, it's safe to say that Carl Albert and Mustang and UConn know a little bit about state championships themselves, even if it's not just solely football, right? There are a lot of different teams that play at the high school level, and a lot of these schools are good in a lot of different teams. Mike, speaking of good in a lot of different sports, it's a nice transition. Let's talk about Tuttle High School a little bit. We have been following, obviously, Tuttle football all season, and they're still going. Football has championships in 01, 05, and 18. They're looking to add to that with their fourth in 2025. And they have a very, very good chance this year. Very, very good chance this year.
Very good chance.
I mean, coming off of the game we just had. Whew. All right, I'll give it to you. Let's get into it. Over 500 yards total offense for Tuttle in their 51-0 victory over the Grove Ridge Runners in the quarterfinals.
And Grove was no slouch.
No. Cruz Campbell had 409 yards in the air, and I think he added 7 on the ground to that number. He went 18 for 22 with 5 passing touchdowns. He had a QB rating of 161.9. Yeah, just let that one sit for a little bit.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
At the high school, at the 4A high school level? Whoa. He's got to be on some people's radar.
Hey, I'm pretty sure we checked that earlier, didn't we? I think we checked both him and Rouseville and the Lanes.
Yeah. And he's on people's radar, man.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of Sean Rouseville Jr., 17 carries, 186 yards. He went for 2 touchdowns in that win, and they could have even done without him. They didn't need to run the ball at all. But once they did, he still got off, and he still almost put up a 200-yard game. Yeah. It's ridiculous the way this team plays. Jalen Lane was Campbell's favorite target, 8 receptions, 239 yards. He had 3 touchdowns on the night. Jordan Lane went for 90 yards and a touchdown. Donnie Schluter had a touchdown of his own. Listen, I don't want to say that it's going to be another blowout, but I'm just going to say I don't know how Broken Bow beats them.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Neutral site, right? But Tuttle will still officially be the home team. But it's Tuttle versus Broken Bow at East Central University out in Ada on December 5th, and we're going to be out there covering that one. Semifinals matchup. It does look like it's going to be Tuttle versus one of Elgin or Cushing again. Now, whether for that matchup you're favoring Elgin or you're favoring Cushing, because both have had stellar years and crazy runs through the playoffs already, it does appear that they're going to face Tuttle again. And even at before week 1, week 0, we were expecting, okay, this Tuttle team is probably going to go all the way. That's just the kind of team they have this year. I don't know how even the Elgin team that got them last year, even a Cushing team that just pulls off a major upset against the defending state championships on the other side of the semis, I don't know how either of them beats this Tigers team. I really don't.
I'm with you. You know, you've been there, you've seen them live. I've heard them over the broadcast. I believe one of the stations actually went and got some footage of the game, and it's just unreal. I mean, they would give the Tulsa schools a run for their money. The 5A, 6A Tulsa schools a run for their money.
Absolutely.
They'd give Carl Albert a real run for their money.
Absolutely. I think Tuttle Mike could beat Carl Albert this year just on that passing game alone. They are so ridiculous in the passing game, and it was kind of overshadowed, at least in my opinion, for a couple of weeks because they're so good in the running game as well. This is the definition of a complete team. Well coached, top to bottom, stacked at every position. They're going to be state champions. They're going to add their fourth to that banner, in my opinion.
Well, we'll see.
We will see.
Barring injury.
We will see. Actually, speaking of injury, they just got back one of their injured players. And, by the way, one of their best players as well. Tyson Kennedy has been out for weeks. He came back, and in his first game back in quarterfinals of the playoffs, he tied for team lead in total tackles with 8. 6 of them were solo. I'm pretty sure at least half of them were for a loss. Tuttle is getting healthier at this point in the year.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody beats them.
I'm with you. I don't see it either.
But Tuttle as a school, man, 5 championships in baseball. They've got like 17 championships in cheerleading. They've got 11 in softball, hoping for 4 in football, and they've got too many to count in wrestling.
Yeah.
This Tuttle is a premier school in Oklahoma athletics, high school athletics, I'll say. I'd say they are one of the premier schools at any class right now. If you want to be a championship, you go there. 84 Oklahoma State championships over the Tuttle Tigers history. Whew. That's ridiculous. While I'm thinking about it, though, before we go to break, I do want to spend some time and thank everybody that we've done game day shows with down there. Thank all our sponsors, from Taco Mayo to the Tuttle Tag Agency to literally everyone that we've worked with down there. We got to give a big thanks to. And thanks as well to Athletic Director Sean Brooks, Tech Director Brad Berryhill. Thank you to Mr. Kevin on the radio side. Thank you to Brad Ballard, their Tuttle Tigers head coach. I've worked with them a little bit this year, just ironing things out and getting rosters and stats and whatnot, everything you need for a broadcast. We couldn't have had a great year on our side of the show if it wasn't for everybody helping us with the Tuttle program. So thanks to them. We got to send it to break. We're halfway done. When we come back, we're going to talk probably a little bit more about Tuttle. Maybe we'll mention some more stuff. Yeah. But Bethany is going to run the show from now on. Our main school of focus, the school that we have covered since softball started in the fall. We're going to recap their seasons next, so don't go anywhere. We're at QDOBA here in War Acres, 7002 Northwest I guess technically it's Oklahoma City. 7002 Northwest Expressway Suite A in OKC. Remember that they're open 10:30 a.m. to 10 every day except Thanksgiving this week. You can use the app, you can go on the website, or you can stop by in person. If you're watching on Facebook Live, they're tagged there as well. Thanks to QDOBA. Let's go to break. When we come back, 2 more segments, half an hour, and the last bit of our show.
Safety for your finances is a necessity. Thieves work around the clock to try to get into your personal banking accounts. Here at the First National Bank and Trust Company, we offer Secure Lock. It is a mobile app that allows you to control how, when, and where your debit cards are used. Stay in control and stay secure. Download the app today. Experience peace of mind with Secure Lock from your First National Bank. Member FDIC. Go Tigers!
Meteorologist Aaron Tuttle here. For years, I've been recommending Ferguson Roof Systems to homeowners across Oklahoma. So when Mother Nature struck my house, it was an easy call to make. There's no one I would trust more than Ferguson Roof Systems for my home's roof. Since 1977, Ferguson has led the industry with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating and lifetime warranties. Plus, they'll even deal with the insurance companies so you don't have to. So when Mother Nature strikes, make your first call to Ferguson Roof Systems.
The Tuttle Tag Agency at 303 West Main in Tuttle is a proud supporter of Tiger Sports. Friendly service, knowledgeable, and helpful. Conveniently located in downtown Tuttle. The Tuttle Tag Agency is your nearest office for the DMV practice test. The Tuttle Tag Agency open Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m. Call 405-381-2413. The Tuttle Tag Agency located at 303 West Main.
Step out of the big box stores and step into being a valued customer. Shopping local at Simar Sales and Service, your local lawnmower repair service located at 2623 OK 37 in Tuttle. A Cub Cadet dealer with a bold design and quality cut. You'll see why they're a cut above the rest, featuring DeWalt, Cub mowers, trailers, and small engine repair. Simmer Sales and Service, where value is still invested in the customer. Call 405-266-2663. Go Tiger! Libby's Coffee Company in Tuttle serves specialty coffee, energy drinks, flavored lemonade, dirty sodas, and much, much more. Open 7 to 12 Monday through Friday, located in front of A&B Roll-Off, and can be hired for events right out of their handcrafted beverage trailer. And don't forget Levy's Burgers in the afternoon in front of A&B Roll-Off, of course, locally owned and operated in Tuttle, Libby's Coffee Company.
The Napa Know-How is on Main in Tuttle at 203 West Main. Find your car parts and auto accessories. Napa Auto Parts is staffed with the know-how from batteries, car brakes, and all you need for your car. Napa offers same-day delivery and offers battery recycling. Napa Auto and Truck Parts. Call 405-381-6277. Napa in Tuttle.
And that brings us right back out of break. We are past the halfway point here on the high school recap show at QDOBA Mexican Eats in Oklahoma City, 7002 Northwest Expressway Suite A. One of our favorite places to come. They've been multiple coaches show hosts throughout the year, and we hope to keep working with them, of course. But it's always great when we get to come here. The students love it. The coaches love it. We love it on the broadcast side. But the great food at great prices. And again, if you are a student, you use that student ID, you can get a drink for free. And if you use the app, you can start earning rewards. Takeout, delivery, it's no contact delivery as well is available. They're wheelchair accessible. They accept all forms of contactless payment. Just things going down the list about great reasons to come by QDOBA, not to mention the premier location. So thanks to everybody at QDOBA who has helped us throughout this season do these shows, because it's really been great. And we really have liked coming here the last Tuesday, usually, of every month. All right, but as we get back into segment number 3, I've already thanked a lot of people, but I do got to give one more. Thanks to Simplified Tech Solutions and Eric, who works over there. They help us with our technological side as well. All these venues help us put on the shows, but Eric helps us on the back end. 4221 North MacArthur Boulevard, 405-212-4248 is the number you should call for Eric. He's still helping us to this day, and he's great at what he does. So thanks to Eric as well. All right, but as we get back into this, we're going to talk some more Bethany High School, because we got to mention pom, we got to mention swim, and volleyball, and cross country, and everything in between. I actually got done with a pom show not too long ago. Now, it was only about a week ago, where I talked to the Bethany High School pom team before they were going out in doing their next big competition out in Tulsa. That was an all-state member performance that Miss Hallie Hungerford was going to do. They had a great year. They were a lot of fun to have on the show. I really enjoyed that one. Thanks to Jade Peralta, their head coach, for letting us come and do that. But they had multiple award winners. They were the OSSAA 2025 Small Palm Academic Team. They were the Game Day State Champs. They had multiple, almost too many to count, successful showings and shows and performances, both at home and on the road and at football games. And they're going to have more at basketball games. They're not even done yet. But that was a great one. I personally had never gotten really big into dance and cheer and all that. It's just never been my thing, if you can believe it. But the way they talked about it, you could really, hear and see the passion that they have for Palm. And so I think we'll have to get them back on the show in the future and talk to them and catch up with them again. But again, we had a lot of fun on that one. And they're just one of the many Bethany teams that did really well this semester. Cross country, especially on the women's side, did very well. I believe Madison McNutt has continued her athletic career in cross country at the next level on the cross country side, not the softball side. She's going on to continue her career there. So cross country is also very big at Bethany. I know the men's didn't do quite as well as the women's, but they had a pretty good year themselves. But swim, we're obviously about to talk about volleyball. We've got basketball coming up. Man, there's so much that we still have left to do before it even turns 2026, really. We've still got 1 full month, which means we can do something like every day, pretty much. But let's talk a little bit about volleyball, now that we've made it. So volleyball this year, obviously, they were defending state champions, trying to go back-to-back. Didn't quite make it, bowed out to the eventual champions, Community Christian Schools, which, again, super strong team, by the way. But that doesn't mean it was a completely unsuccessful year just because they didn't make that final game. They had multiple award winners. Again, on the volleyball side as well, multiple athletes going to play at the next level. Skylar Brady is going to Kansas State. I know Reagan Meek is going to Wichita State. I know there are probably a few more in there that I don't even know. But I think Maya McFall has the service record, like the single-season serve record, I believe, now at Bethany. I can't remember if it's that or career, but it's one of the two. And Coach Kerry Cagle won OSSAA Coach of the Year. The team went 30-5. They are graduating 7 seniors now, so they will have to have a new set of players step up. But it was a lot of fun really watching them, and I very, very much enjoyed it. So looking at it here, it looks like I was right on what I said. Brady is continuing. Madison McNutt is continuing. Then we get to talk about some softball girls, but we'll save them for a little bit. Beckham Williams, Ethan Miller, Carter Thomas, all from, I think a couple of them are golf, but all from different athletics as well, are also going on to play at the next level, and they were recognized at signing day, which happened not too long ago. And, what can you say but just congratulations? We talked about Tuttle and their state championships on the last segment, how many they have. But Bethany, although they might not have, I don't think, in total that 84 state championship number, I don't know that for a fact, I haven't looked it up. But Bethany is also a very, very good school across a lot of different sports. And I got a chance to talk to a lot of them this year, which was a lot of fun. Looking ahead, basketball starts on December 2nd. We've got Crossings at home and then Star Spencer at home before we have our first road game in Kingfisher. That's the 2nd, the 5th, and the 9th, respectively. Both men's and women's will be out there, I believe, except for Star Spencer. Women's isn't doing Star Spencer, but all the rest of them, both men's and women's. So we're going to have a great time at basketball coming up. And I'm honestly running out of time here. I've got too much to talk about. I can't get to it all. Bethany High softball was the other team I was going to mention here. And for very good reason as well. I caught, it feels like pretty much every game they did. And although they bowed out in the Super Regionals, they also lost to the eventual state champions. They lost to the Blanchard Lions. And I could talk about Blanchard as well because they put together a really good team. But you know how I mentioned those players that are going on to the next level. Madison Bibbs, Emma Buxton, Jada Davis, Paige Seacrest. They're all planning to continue their own athletic careers going on to college, which is super, super awesome to hear. I love that they're getting that opportunity. To go through some stats for you real quick, Madison Bibbs, catcher for the team, really the leader for the girls 300. Oh, man, I do too many sports. 378 average. Mike, I hear you laughing. 477 on base percentage.
It is 378. It's .378.
Yeah, I do too many sports. It's so hard to keep them all on track. She slugged.
Oh, come on. Al Michaels isn't going to be with us forever. Somebody's got to.
Oh, come on.
Hours are from 7:30 to 7:30, Monday through Friday, and we do heating and air conditioning, plumbing and electrical. Give us a call. We always have specials. Our number one priority is your family, constant comfort and convenience. We offer
Facebook go down.
24-hour service. And in order for us to do that, we fully stock
I don't know what happened
everything
there.
at our
We're back, though.
warehouse. Whether it's commercial
weird.
or residential, we offer plumbing, heating and air, and electrical full services. All of our guys are licensed, we're bonded and insured. Here at Integrity, we offer senior discounts, military discounts, and public service discounts. You worked hard for us, so let us work hard for you. Go Broncos.
Welcome back to the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. Luke, are you there, buddy?
I am. We lost internet for a little bit. I have no idea what happened, but we are back now.
Let's see. What time is it? Oh, it's 5:30. Yeah. Everybody fired up their PlayStation 4s at the same time.
Well, I hope they're having a good time, but we're back now.
Playing Call of Duty, man.
Yeah.
Old boys are gearing up for Call of Duty. Yeah. That happens more often than you would believe in our business. Somebody's out at 5:30, suddenly they're gone, and it's like, dang it, kids fired up Call of Duty.
Well, I was talking a little bit about Bethany softball. I'll mention their record real quick. Overall, they went 19-14, which you might hear that and think, oh, so they weren't that great, just above 500. No, that's because they played the best teams in the state in all the tournaments they were doing super early on while other teams were scheduling cupcakes. They went 8-3 in district. That was where their success came from, and why they went to the super regionals in the playoffs is because they beat their district teams. Those early season matchups, as difficult as they were against such great teams, I think really prepared the softball team for what they were going to meet later on. Although they did fall just a bit short, I think the individual performances as well speak to that strategy. Because Bibbs is 378, Jules Barger had a 395 average, nearly 400 hitter. Ella Davis had a 383 average. And Ryan Rollins, freshman first baseman, I think she played 11 games, maybe a little bit over, 464 average, 583 OBP, 643 slug. She had a home run herself, 8 RBIs, and they're going to get plenty more years out of Ryan Rollins. So super excited for that one as well. But really, Mike, we can't mention softball without speaking about their dual threat pitchers, Paige Sechrist and Jada Davis. Sechrist, 1.60 ERA and an 8-5 record. Davis had a 2.55 ERA and a 7-6 record. Get this, Paige Sechrist, opponent's batting average against, .184. They hit under 200 against Sechrist this year.
Ouch. Ouch.
And their on-base percentage wasn't much better, just barely above 200, 213.
Ooh. Oh, that's scary good.
That's very, very good.
That is scary good.
Again, just another player that's going to have a long and successful career at the college level. Her and Davis both, and, of course, all the batters we just talked about. But I know we went down for a little bit, but we're actually out of time here on segment number 3. We got to go back to break. We come back, we're going to wrap this show up with the Bethany High School football team and recap their season, some of the records that were broken there as well. And then we'll be done, and it'll be pretty much Thanksgiving time. So thanks to QDOBA Mexican Eats, our venue for tonight, 7002 Northwest Expressway, Suite A. 405-470-7772 is the number you should call. And, of course, they've got the app, which I have used many times. I'm a big fan of the cheese-crusted quesadillas. So if you do come by, you might try out one of those. I get it with just the adobo chicken. Very, very basic in that manner, but it is really good. So we'll be back after this break. You're listening to the High School Sports Recap Show for the fall semester at QDOBA on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. Luke Young, Mike Gannon, back after this.
Step up to the next level at Coyote Pond, home of the $20 FFL transfer. Coyote Pond at 5804 Northwest 63rd and MacArthur makes the difference in customer service with a selection of just about everything with top dollar loans and rock bottom prices. Locally owned and operated, Coyote Pond is the destination headquarters for Bethany, Yukon, and Oklahoma City, and the home of the $20 FFL transfers. Call 405-470-7999 or go to coyotepond.com. That's 405-470-7999. online and coyotepond.com.
King of Wings at 9015 Southeast 29th Street, Midwest City is your go-to spot for irresistible chicken wings and comfort classics that promise to leave you speechless with your mouth wide open. Every bite is crafted with flavor fit for royalty, because here every mouth shall open. Chicken reigns supreme, but we've also got tasty options that'll keep you coming back for more. 9015 Southeast 29th Street. Call King of Wings at 405-541-0966. Name brands and more for less at Victory Mattress Outlet. Welcome to Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway in Oklahoma City. Family owned and operated Victory Mattress Outlet has options for every budget, like quality 10-inch beds to high-end luxury mattresses fit for a king. You're the winner here. Shop pillows, protectors, bedroom sets, and more. And remember, the friendly people at Victory Mattress Outlet can help deliver, assemble, and set up your mattresses and furniture. Call 405-510-6988 and never pay retail price for top brands again. Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway, 405-510-6988. That's 405-510-6988. Victory Mattress Outlet, where your best night's sleep costs less.
This is Blake Nightingale State Farm, your local insurance agent over at 7304 Northwest Expressway. Here to tell you more about the business is Blake himself.
Hi, my name is Blake Nightingale, State Farm insurance agent located at 7304 Northwest Expressway here in Oklahoma City. I've been a State Farm agent since 2018. We've got 5 licensed staff members here, and we do everything from auto, home, life insurance, and health insurance. And we're real passionate about helping people. And we love youth sports, and we sponsor a lot of local teams here. And so, like I always tell people, like a good neighbor, we're here to help you.
Just like you heard from Blake, Blake Nightingale State Farm is here to help you protect what's important to you, because your car and home aren't just things. They're where you make your memories. Visit Blake and his friendly staff at 7304 Northwest Expressway and call them at 405-728-1313. Like a good neighbor, Blake Nightingale is there.
Okay, folks, that brings us out of break for the final time here on the high school sports recap show for the fall semester 2025, just a month away from being over with. And then it's the brand new year, and we've got a brand new slate of athletic events. But before that, we're live from QDOBA Mexican Eats, of course. What else could we say about QDOBA here? Super friendly people. They've helped us out so many times getting these shows ready. But you can see a little bit of the dine-in area here on your Facebook live feed. He's always super spacious, super clean. There are people dining in here pretty constantly. I've seen guys from my alma mater in here, some baseball players, old teammates from time to time, and it's always good. It's a great place just to get together and hang out. And, of course, you've got the good Mexican food. Bowls, burritos, my favorite, the quesadillas, but you want nachos, you got salads, you got tacos. You can try the loaded tortilla soup. Limited time only, by the way. You have to get in here quick to do that one. And get into 7002 Northwest Expressway Suite A, QDOBA Mexican Eats, right off the expressway, right next to Chick-fil-A in the Rockwell Plaza Shopping Center. But as we bring it back, it's time for our final segment, which means we're going to end with some Bethany High School football. This year, Bethany High School dealt with a lot of issues. The injury bug hit them hard. They had a couple transfers, but the injury bug was really what got to the Broncos. They finished 5-6 overall, 4-3 in district. They won a 3-way tiebreaker to get that final seed. And although they would lose to Elgin, 49-7, I'd say, all things considered, to stick around for that long to take care of what they needed to take care of throughout the year and get a couple key wins, I'd say that they have a lot they could be proud of, the adversity they fought through. Some of those key wins include a 27-26 win over Blanchard back at the start of October, and a 41-14 win over Chickasha that same month. They would come back on Halloween and get a 49-28 win over Tecumseh, which set them up for the that tiebreaker win, because the record was good enough that they could take advantage of that head-to-head matchup with Blanchard and find their way in. Again, they didn't make it past the first round, but in a year like that, just making the playoffs against so many good teams is, I think, something to be proud of. Let's go through some stats, and I've written down a lot here. We're going to start with Brody McLaren, the quarterback that was asked to step up in a big way this year for the Bethany Broncos. The offense on passing and on the ground ran through McLaren, 129 for 218 on pass attempts, He played in all 11 games. He had 1,856 yards total. He averaged 168.7 yards per game through the air. He threw for 18 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. As a runner, he had 98 carries for 523 yards. He averaged 447.5 yards per game and 5.3 yards per play on the ground. He had one game of 100-plus yards and 6 rushing touchdowns, which is more than some of their running backs had. They really did ask McLaren to shoulder the brunt of the offense, to be that guy in the backfield and let everything run through him. But that's not to say he didn't have help. He would have had one of the better running backs in the state, Wyatt Kiefer, for the majority of the season if Kiefer didn't get injured. Kiefer only played in 5 games, but through 90 carries, he had over 400 yards and 6 touchdowns, right there tying McLaren's touchdown number through an entire season. Kiefer was averaging 82.2 yards per game before he went down. He already had 200-plus yard games. That kid could run the ball, and when he went down, man, that was a killer blow to the Bethany offense. It was just killer. But Barron T, he stepped up as well. 10 games, 55 carries for 364 yards. He had 4 rushing touchdowns. He averaged 36.4 yards per game and 6.6 yards per play. So he actually had a little bit of a per-play advantage over somebody like McLaren. He was averaging a little bit more. But the ground wasn't really where Bethany lived after Kiefer went down. They actually more so lived through the air in McLaren's arm because they have Seth Griner and Jagger Weaver, record-setting players. Seth Griner set the single-season reception record at Bethany High with 70 total, and Jagger Weaver set the single-season return record back on Halloween as well. Griner had 70 receptions for just shy of 1,000 yards. He had 8 touchdowns, and his longest catch and run of the year was 72 yards. Jagger Weaver had 2 touchdowns on 25 receptions and 471 yards, but he was averaging nearly 20 per play. When they needed that middle downfield threat, they turned to Jagger Weaver in a big, big way. He was definitely that guy they went to a lot to move the chains. But, of course, one more passing threat to mention, and we couldn't do the show without mentioning him, Breck Brady, standout tight end and two-way player. As a tight end, 19 receptions for 264 yards. He has 6 touchdowns. He was only averaging 24 yards per game. That's because he was that red zone threat. He was such a matchup advantage against anybody they put on him that by the end of the season, teams were double-teaming Breck Brady pretty consistently, as we found out in a coach's show. And he's got multiple D1 offers, including Texas Tech, Arkansas, Kansas State, where Skylar Brady is going for volleyball. So, again, you want to speak about a bright future. Breck Brady has a very, very bright future right now, Mike.
Oh, good. Yeah, good for him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Excited to see how he keeps going. But we've only talked about really one phase of the game there with the offense. The defense had a lot of success as well. And the coaches were very quick to give the defense props on a lot of those shows as well. Head coach John Arthur, we got to say thanks to him for letting us do all those coaches shows as well. But you could throw out names: Eli Mars, Marcos Lopez, Malachi Chapman. Mars had 61 tackles, 46 of which were solo. He had an interception to his name. Lopez on the D-line, 46 tackle, 42 of them were solo. 7 sacks and 9 hurries. He had 11 tackles for loss. Man, that's a good lineman. Malachi Chapman, a linebacker. He didn't have any interceptions, but he did have a hurry. He had 4 tackles for loss. He assisted on 30 tackles throughout the year. So whenever anybody was in the backfield, he was right there along with them. I'd say it's tough to play defense in this era of football, Mike. It really is at all levels. There are so many rules, so many regulations, things you can't do on the defensive side, and you're doing this against more and more high-powered offenses throughout the different levels of football. It seemed from the beginning that the odds were squarely stacked against Bethany, and despite that, they found their way to being a playoff team, and they found a way to knock out some pretty good teams along the way, some pretty good players. So I think the future, I keep saying this a lot, and I know I am, but I think the future is bright for football as well. I think they're going to see themselves go up and up. I think we've spoken actually on the coaches show, back on that middle school coaches show, about some of the players we needed to look out for. They're,
Like the youngest Brady.
yeah, like the youngest Brady, exactly. But there's actually middle school names that we will recognize once they get ready for high school. The 7th grade team, I think it was, went undefeated this year, and they are eager to be high school Broncos.
Yes. Yeah, they got to wait one more year, and then they'll be eligible for varsity.
Absolutely.
1 year to go.
Absolutely. I'm super excited for it. I really am.
Hey, once again, Bethany starting QB. Is he a junior, sophomore, junior, senior? What was he?
McLaren is a junior this year, I believe.
Oh, junior. Okay, so McLaren's got one more. And we saw at the end of the Tuttle game, at the end of the Bethany games, that during the regular season and then during the postseason, they put their freshman backup QB in, and he was the only one that scored a touchdown.
Right. Yes.
In the playoff game, he was the one that got the touchdown. So, and he's good already. So he's going to be back up for another year, and maybe even challenging for the starter job. I don't know, but in 2 years he'll be ready to go, and he'll have all those 7th graders coming up with him. Oh wow!
I don't think at this point in the program you can say anybody's job is safe. They're going to tell those kids, no one's job is safe. You're going to be challenged for it day in, day out. But, yeah, you're right. And, again, that's against Elgin, who is already up 49-0 at this point. Yeah, but that's still a very good program. And to put up a touchdown in them as a freshman is impressive. And Bethany actually throughout a lot of the year put up a lot of points. Some of their losses were, shootouts. I mean, you take that Ardmore loss, 55-36. You take that Hera loss, 45-43. And that Hera game had a lot of things going on anyways. But they had a 49-28 win over Tecumseh. They had even the close win, 27-26, but they had another blowout win, 41-14 over Chickasha. They beat Noble at the beginning of the year, 21-13, which was even closer than those. So it seemed like both ways in closer games and wider games, this Broncos team was always looking for the way to win. Again, I think that does go back to a lot of what Coach John Arthur and his staff have done with these kids. I think they have really gone to great lengths to instill in them that winner's mindset, that high effort, high octane all the time. Don't take the foot off of the gas mentality that we've seen the Eagles do in recent games. They had the injuries. They lost a couple of players. They'll have another year under their belt, and they'll be going up against Ardmore again next year and Tuttle again next year. Yep.
So, they're barring injury, they should be much better next year. Much better. They're going to really probably challenge Tuttle for that division championship.
I think so too, and we'll be right along there to catch all those games as well here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. Don't go anywhere, folks, even after the holiday season, because we're going to be right in the thick of it with basketball. Then we'll be right in the thick of it with baseball and soccer and everything else that the high school is doing. The Gospel Station Sports and Talk isn't going anywhere. So if you want to catch all those games, remember to go to thegospelstation.com, hit the Sports and Talk tab, or you can go to our Facebook, Gospel Station Sports and Talk, and our YouTube, GSN Sports and Talk, and navigate over to the different streams through those. But we're actually about out of time for this show, Mike. We've gone through the whole hour, pure high school recap, catching all the teams we've talked about, all the important players and teams to note throughout the year, and it was another fun one. Thank you for doing this.
It was great. And they said once Thanksgiving's over, Monday we got a coach's show, and then Tuesday night we got basketball season begins.
That's true, and I didn't even mention that. Basketball coach's show on Monday the 1st. That's kicking everything off officially. Be there for that one over at Zaxby's. But all right, but tonight we've been at QDOBA here in Oklahoma City, of course. One more time, the address is 7002 Northwest Expressway Suite A, and the phone is 405-470-7772. There's not enough we can say about QDOBA. You see people still coming in, getting their Mexican food. Stop by tonight and grab yourself something before they close for Thanksgiving. But if you don't make it in here tonight, after Thanksgiving, they'll be back open 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. every single day. Thanks to QDOBA and the people that help us out here. that does it for this show. So until the next time I see you, thank you to everybody that has been listening and watching, and we will see you next time on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. This is Luke Young and Mike Gannon signing out. Have a great rest of your night. And again, happy Thanksgiving. Catch us on Small Business Saturday, meeting a lot of people down in Bethany. Okay, we are muted on the Zoom, so thank you, Facebook, and everybody that has been watching there. Again, I just mentioned it, but Small Business Saturday coming up this Saturday. We're going to be doing live remotes and different tours and meeting a lot of different local businesses, so that one should be fun as well. And then throughout December, the 24 days of Christmas, we're partnering with Branch 15 to help support single mothers, and we're doing a bunch of different things through that. So you can catch all that on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. But again, that's it for me tonight. Thank you one more time, and have a great one. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. Eat something good for me.